What's going on YouTube? Cryptid here. Today I'm going to be imitating a brand new player to Phasmophobia because, as you guys know, the update is out. There's going to be a lot of new people playing Phasmophobia for the first time in their entire lives, and as somebody who's been playing this game for like 3 years, about 700 hours, I know, I forget what it's like to first load into Phasmophobia, because you have basically nothing. It is such a fight to unlock all the new equipment in this game. Like, you start off with the bare essentials. This is what you start off with. All this stuff right here is free, and I'll be going over this here in just a second. And I believe the only map that is unlocked for brand new people is Tanglewood. I'm not quite sure. I'm sure there's going to be some other people out there with some fantastic, like, they bought a whole brand new copy of the game, they're starting up. I'm not doing that, okay? I'm cheap. Okay, I'm cheap. That being said, I believe Tanglewood is going to be your first map, and this is what you're going to start off with. You're going to be starting off with a detector of the supernatural projector, a DOTS projector. EMF reader, I think that's electromagnetic frequency. I'm not quite sure. Please correct me. I'm sure you want to, right? I'm sure you want to correct me. A flashlight, a ghostwriting book, a spirit box, a thermometer, an ultraviolet light, and a video camera. Now, don't look over here, okay? This is going to be so confusing. Just don't worry about this just yet, okay? And I know, like, I just hit Prestige 7. Anyways, let's hop in and act like this is our first ever mission. Although we will have to forget. I'm going to have to drill a hole in my head. Actually, that's just a joke, by the way. To forget everything that I know about this game. So, you start off.
All right, we're here. Take a look.
You start off on amateur, which I forgot to show you what amateur even is. I believe all the difficulties are unlocked. So, you're going to start off on amateur. And don't worry about this. Don't worry about any of this. Just, you're going to start off on amateur, okay? You have a long setup time. And that is 5 minutes. And what this means is the ghost will not hunt and kill you for 5 minutes. So you have 5 minutes to get in, set all your stuff up, and just run back out to the truck. Because this game is pretty scary in the beginning of this game. After you get used to it for a while, it stops being scary, and it's more like a logic puzzle game. But that being said, you have 5 minutes to set up all your stuff. And I'll show you that when we get into the truck. You have a long hunt grace period. And what this means is, I believe it's like 5 seconds. Maybe it's 7, but let's say it's 5 seconds. You have reached the requirements or the criteria for a ghost to hunt you. That's what this game's about, right? Ghost hunters. Well, guess what? The ghosts hunt too. The grace period means the ghost is going to start trying to hunt. It's going to stand there for 5 seconds. It's going to give you a lot of cute clues. The front door is going to slam shut. Things are going to happen. You're going to know, right? You have like 5 seconds to run and hide. Now, as you go up in difficulty, you have no setup time. So just remember, now this has got a caveat. If you're playing and you've come across a cursed object, which you may not know what a cursed object is, but this is for the people who might know what a cursed object is. If you interact with a cursed object, the setup time is gone. The setup time is null and void. The ghost can hunt you, all that kind of stuff. Short hunt duration. That means when the ghost actually does start hunting after this little grace period, you will have a short hunt. That means you only have to like run and hide for about 30 seconds. Maybe it's 20, 25, but I think it's around 30 seconds. Sanity pills restore a lot of sanity. Well, guess what? You just started the game. You don't have access to sanity pills. You do not get sanity pills yet. You don't get sanity pills until like level 17 or something. I wish I had started all the way back over, but that's okay. Regardless, you don't have sanity pills right now. If you do, if you're still on amateur and you have access to sanity pills, this is probably going to be like 25 to 35%, maybe even 50% sanity. You regain half your lost equipment value if you die. Now, this is kind of important because chances are you will be dying quite a bit. The longer you're in the house, the longer you're in the dark, the more chances the ghost has to hunt you. But regardless of that big long-winded setup, we're going to be starting off on 6 Tanglewood Drive, one of my favorite maps, on amateur, with the bare bones. This is all you get. You get one of each. This truck is gonna, by the time you hit level 90, it's gonna be, your truck's gonna be filled to the brim with stuff. This guy does his spiel, which really doesn't make any difference on the game, the ghost type, or anything.
Go and take a closer look. Maybe using it will help your investigation.
So here's your 5-minute setup time. Now, as soon as you can open this, you can do this, you can grab some equipment. So I'm grabbing a EMF reader, a spirit box, and a thermometer, right? Now, nothing's happening. You grab the key, you gotta grab the key, and you gotta hit this to open the truck. The timer's still at 5. The timer will not start until you do this. Now, once you crack that door open, once you crack the seal, that timer starts counting down. You have 5 minutes to go in here and find out where the ghost is. The ghost is in, it has a ghost room. Also, this is the key for the vehicle. Sometimes the ghost will interact with the vehicle and it will cause the car alarm to go off, which, if you're like me, a lot of sounds will cause you to go crazy. So, right now, we're looking at this thermometer. Now, they have nerfed this. It used to be a lot more powerful. The breaker starts on. Okay, so okay, I just heard the ghost touch the door, but I don't want to overwhelm you with information just yet. So on the lower difficulties, the breaker starts on, which means the temperature in the house is going to be warmer.
Oh, hello there.
Hey, what's up, Brad? So, that being said, you want to go into each room and you want to see if this thing starts getting really cold, because the ghost room is going to be really, really, really cold. Okay, so as you can see, the temperature's dropping some, but not enough to really indicate that this is a ghost room. Around the house, there are lights and light switches. You will lose sanity if you are in a room that is dark. Your sanity is slowly dropping, and it's very mild, I think, on lower difficulties, but so you want to keep the lights on. You don't have to, but your sanity will drain, and once your sanity gets below a certain number, the ghost will start hunting. I don't want to confuse everybody, but the number for most ghosts is 50% sanity. Most. There's a lot of stuff to these. I'll probably make a ghost guide later on explaining what the ghosts are, like what each of their special types are. Now, I don't know if you guys was able to hear this, but in the very beginning, I heard a door get touched. So while the ghost is here, the ghost is actually here. You just can't see it. It's invisible, right? Okay. But it is doing stuff. See how okay, so right here I see cold breath. So I can already tell that it's cold in this room. If you've watched movies like The Exorcist, or like any kind of possession, haunting movies, you usually see people with cold breath. This is the same. You can also see that the thermometer is getting cold, getting pretty cold. So we're gonna set this down right here. Also, if you haven't noticed, this cup and this cup has been thrown. So you want to also look for signs that the ghost is actually doing something. So like it will move objects in the house. Now I'm just leaving my stuff there because we have other equipment. Even though we have a very limited amount of equipment, we still have some more equipment we can bring in. So I'm going to now grab the next batch. This is a video cam, this is the dots projector, and this is the writing book. I will show you all how to set them up. I'll show you how to use everything. So if you click on this, now you're probably with a controller, and I'm sorry I can't help you with a controller scheme, but this is normal vision and this is night vision. So let's turn off the lights and let's look in through this. Okay, now you see this little guy right here floating around? There's a little bitty dot, little bitty ghost orb floating around in the house. This is one of the 3 pieces of evidence you want. For those knowers, I think this may be a Yuri, but let's see. So, once you do that, you want to open up your ghost guide. And you want to go to your evidence. And you want to select ghost orb. We do, in fact, have a ghost orb. We can see it on the video camera. Now, if you notice, you can see it like this. If you turn it like this, even with the lights on, you can't see anything. You cannot see the ghost orb. But with the light off and the night vision on, you can see that little ghost orb floating around. You can also set your camera down. And you can actually, okay, I'm gonna turn this on. This is the dots projector. You can also set this down. You can place this, and you kind of want it, so the idea behind this is you set your camera up, you set the dots up to where you can see through the camera. Also, this is going off, so we're getting some electromagnetic readings off of this thing. Now, when you have, this is your ghostwriting book. When you place it down, you're going to notice that there is a little ring that appears around me. This is the radius that if a ghost is nearby and it wants to do an interaction, it will actually interact with that. Now, if the ghost is outside of that, it could wander to it, but... Okay, so we have the EMF readers going off. We also, let's check this. Okay, so, you guys can see this thermometer right here. The ghost is doing quite a bit of stuff behind me. Now, you might think these are actually two separate rooms. If I go over here, you can see that the thermometer is going to probably go all the way back up to like 20 degrees Celsius or 68 degrees in freedom units. But if we go here, we're just going to leave that alone for a while. Now, we're going to go grab a couple other things. So the ghost, just because you put the ghostwriting book down does not mean the ghost is going to instantly start writing it. The ghost is running around the house. It is doing stuff. As you can see right here, this is stuff that's going on inside the house. This is an activity monitor. So you can see the ghost is doing a lot of stuff in there. Now, if you go here and you have the camera placed down, you can click on the mouse. And you can actually see inside the house now. And you can also turn off night vision if you want. I don't know why you would want to, but now you can't really... Okay, I just saw it throw a plate. Now, the reason is because there are some ghosts that have dots. Now, I don't know what we're going to get. We will have 3 evidence. On amateur difficulty, you're going to get all 3 evidence eventually. So right now I'm just waiting to see if I can see. You'll know, trust me. You might be like, what is it? Okay, so I just saw the ghost orb right there floating around. You'll know when you see a ghost on dots. It is, you actually see a figure, like a silhouette of a ghost walking through. So trust me, you'll know what it is. Now, I've got all my equipment. This is the flashlight. This is a tier 1. It is pretty terrible. And with the breaker being turned on by default on this difficulty, you kind of don't need it. Some people prefer to play entirely with this. Some people don't care. Okay, so now this is the ultraviolet. I'm just gonna hold on to this. So the ultraviolet, and not every ghost. Okay, so not every ghost has every evidence, right? So because we know that we have ghost orbs, it cannot be these ghosts, the ones that are grayed out right now. It can be these ghosts. Can be these ghosts, but we have to find more evidence before we can actually say what the ghost is. So I'm gonna turn my flashlight off. I'm gonna grab the spirit box now, and you have to speak. Yeah, okay, well, real quick. The ghost actually... Okay, so this ghost is actually written in the ghostwriting book. Now this is what this looks like. Now if you go back and look, you can see that originally when I placed this down, it had a pencil on it. If the pencil's ever gone, if you're kind of wondering, like, I don't understand what is this? Did it actually write in? If the pencil's gone, the ghost wrote in it. The ghost actually is a pencil thief. So, the ghost has written in the ghost writing book. So, not every ghost does this, right? So you're not going to get all the equipment's not going to work. Now this is just checking. The only thing you really care about this is if it swings all the way over to the 5. Which it hasn't done yet. Okay. So we already have our 3 pieces of evidence. As you can see, right here, this dropped below 32 degrees or 0 degrees Celsius. So this is actually freezing. So this tells us that the ghost we have in this house is a revenant. So see, this ghost will never do EMF 5. Okay? It'll never do EMF 5. This ghost won't. So the ghost is just throwing stuff around. And we also won't get fingerprints. So there's nothing really that you're going to get off this. Now, hopefully I'll be able to get some ghosts that show you the different types. So right now, out of all the equipment we had, the only thing that was valuable was this. Because we were able to see the ghost orb, right? I'm going to turn this off. You just click on this, turn this off. You can click on everything, turn things off and on, right? So the ghost is still in this room. This is the ghost's favorite room right now. Now, the ghost could completely leave if it wanted. Most ghosts can. I'm not gonna bother you with all the nuances because this would be a 700-hour video. So we have dots, or I'm sorry, we have ghost orbs through the camera. The ghost writing book has given us some writing, so we have ghost writing, and we have freezing temperatures. You can see it's actually really freezing in here. Like we might be suffering from hypothermia right now. Okay, so that's it. Now I mean, for right now, if you're lucky enough to get this, I would say just go. Don't worry about the objectives. You can, but if you're brand new to this, trust me, it's going to be a lot scarier than I make it out to be. So, like, we could, these are the objectives you could do. Get to blow out a firelight. If you're starting off, you literally don't. Chances are, you're not going to have the equipment starting off brand new level 1 to do this. But you will have all the 3 pieces of equipment that I have. Or the equipment that I have. So, right now we have a Revenant. I'm going to click this. I'm going to make sure I have Revenant selected. We're going to close up shop, and we're going to go back to the thing, and we're going to get some money. And money equals levels, too, so. So we got the correct ghost type. Now, we didn't do the objectives, don't worry. And I know this doesn't seem like a lot of money. It's not. Don't worry about all this stuff, okay? Not right yet. So we got some. This might help you at lower levels go up. I just prestige. So the higher the level you are, the longer it's going to take. So the question is then you start unlocking different tiers of stuff. So for instance, the spirit box has a range of 3 meters, but the tier 2 has a range of 4. And the tier 3. So what that means is if you're in a big room, like you're in the gym on high school, and you're trying to use the spirit box, the tier 1, the ghost could be away from you, and you may not think that you have it, but there you go. There's quite a bit. There's a lot of stuff, and I'm trying not to overwhelm you. But I'm going to do another quick one, real quick, just to show you what you are using these for. So hopefully, we'll get a different ghost with some different equipment or evidence. Again, remember, 5 minutes.
Right, we're here. Take a look at the equipment and prepare accordingly.
This guy says stuff, don't worry about him. He doesn't really, I mean, I don't want to hurt this guy's feelings,
Whoever
but
was here must have summoned the ghost with a curse.
this doesn't necessarily mean anything. A lot of people for the longest time thought it meant stuff, secret stuff, but it doesn't. So this is your case number, the person's name, because you can use the spirit box and say the ghost name to increase the chance of activity. But again, I'm trying to talk like you're brand new. You just loaded up. You're like, man, what is this game about? I have no idea. So like this, detect a paranormal sound with a parabolic mic. You don't have that yet. Cleanse the area near the ghost with using incense. You don't have this yet. So that's why I say I wouldn't really worry about these objectives right now. It just makes things a lot more complicated for you. If you do happen to do these, you do get a higher reward. I will say that, though. And you can start off with whatever you like, but we don't have everything I usually do. But usually I just start off with these 3 things. This will actually show you the ghost interacting with something. So if the ghost is quiet, because you saw that ghost, the ghost before was throwing a lot of plates. Some ghosts don't do anything. Some ghosts will just hang out. They'll hide. These are hiding spots, by the way. Okay, so all you have to do is get in, close the door, be quiet. Don't have any electronics on. Don't have this on. If you do, the ghost will come in here and kill you. But if you just sit here with nothing in your hand or non-electronic, you'll be fine. But remember, until you do something like interact with the so okay, most times you don't even need the thermometer. Most times you don't really need the thermometer. The ghost will make itself known. Now, just because the ghost threw something here doesn't mean that it's in here, but there's a greater than normal chance that it actually is. If I sit here and look at my thermometer, you can see that it's actually going down. Now, a normal temperature of the house is 20 Celsius, around 68 degrees Fahrenheit. So this right here is showing me this is the ghost room. This is the ghost. The ghost is actually... This is its favorite room. The ghost can be here. This can be its favorite room, and it can go wherever it wants. Some ghosts have different properties. Okay, so I'm gonna try to use the spirit box. I'm gonna turn it on, and I don't know what button it is for controller, I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to hold the button down to speak to the ghost. It just touched this door. See this? So we'll get an EMF reading off this. You know, matter of fact, I'm gonna run out real quick and grab my ultraviolet just in case I get, just in case it leaves behind ultraviolet evidence, so I can show you what that is. See, we still have 3 minutes too. I'm just gonna grab these things. All right, I'm gonna run in and see if I can get some ultraviolet evidence. I'm doing pretty good. Like I said, I'm just recording some intro Phasmo stuff. So I was looking for ultraviolet. Now, it doesn't mean that it's not ultraviolet. I'm gonna check the thermometer again. And it is getting colder in here. Okay, so the ghost has been doing some stuff. We still don't have ultraviolet, but I am gonna use the spirit box. So what you do is you ask it questions. Where are you? That's a question you can ask the ghost. And you can see right there, the little white dot is picking up my mic. And the red dot is the ghost is like hearing me. How old are you? Is another question you can ask the ghost. You want to move around too. Are you friendly? Is another question. There you go. The ghost responded. Where are you?
A closing.
Are you friendly?
Active hate.
The ghost is not friendly. Okay. Okay, so we have spirit box evidence. So you want to mark that down. Now you can see some of the ghosts that weren't available in the previous match are now available. So it could be one of these ghosts. And I'm not gonna bother you with the particulars because it might be too overwhelming. Let's check the thermometer. It's getting close to freezing, but not quite. Sometimes it'll take 10 minutes for this to get cold. So now there is a method to this. You want to place your stuff in a way that you can see. It's doing a lot of door touching, but it's not leaving behind UV evidence. It's also not spiking this thing up to EMF 5. So it can hit EMF 5, it can hit 5, but it has to stay over for a couple seconds. Okay, so the last thing we're gonna need is our video camera. You can bring your flashlight if you want, but I'm telling you, I'm not a big flashlight enjoyer. Some of the bigger maps you want a flashlight, but it takes an inventory slot, which is a precious commodity. Okay, let me check my sanity. So as you can see, my sanity has went down from 100% down to like 98, 94. It'll fluctuate a little bit. Nothing to worry about just yet. So this thing will pick up ghost orbs. That's all it does. It picks up ghost orbs, and we do have one. I'm gonna try to get a good view of it for you. We do in fact have a ghost orb somewhere in here. Okay, it's floating around. Sometimes they're hard to see. Okay, there it goes, right above the bed. So we can mark down ghost orb. Still no ultraviolet evidence. I wish you guys could see it. It just leaves a handprint, a green handprint. And I can still talk to the ghost too. How old are you? Oh. Where are you?
A closing.
close encounter. Okay. All right, so I'm going to set my camera down. So the idea with this is you kind of want to set your camera up to where it's pointing in the same direction as your dots projector. You can close the door. You don't want lights on. If you have lights on and you go out to the truck, you're not going to be able to see anything. So let's go. Now you can see dots in person. Again, there's so much to this game, I don't want to overwhelm anybody. You can see dots in person unless it's one specific ghost. If it's a specific ghost, which is a Goryo, which we don't have to worry about a Goryo, you will see it in person. But a lot of people, especially when you're new, the inside of the house is terrifying. So you want to set your camera up and you want to just kind of sit here and hang out and wait to see if you can find dots. Because remember, you need 3 pieces of evidence on amateur or intermediate difficulty. You want these 3. Or you get 3 pieces of evidence. Now, as you get more advanced, you can learn you don't even need any evidence. Some pro players don't play with any evidence. All right, let's check. It is indeed freezing in here. So we have a ghost that is called an Onryo, which is a special ghost. Again, I'm not going to worry with the ghost types. I would like to see if I could find an actual UV ghost, but I don't know that I can. Again, we don't even have the paranormal. We don't have a parabolic mic. We don't have incense. Now, we could, if we wanted to, have a team member, have a member of your team escape the ghost during a hunt. If you're brand new, you don't have incense, you don't have anything, I would highly suggest not, but you can if you want. I'm not going to, right, for the purpose of this video, I'm not going to. And you just hit this, you go back to your base, and you reap rewards. It's kind of slow rolling as you go on, but as you can see, there's another 200 bucks. And then eventually you'll start unlocking some things. I don't remember what level you unlock crosses and stuff, but as you can see, level 37 and then level 90 is when you unlock the other equipment. So this is just a video on what you do in the very beginning. Now, unfortunately, I didn't have any UV light ghosts. I can't control what the ghosts show me, so hopefully I'll have another video showing you the ultraviolet stuff. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to start off, I think the only map that's unlocked is Tanglewood. The only difficulty is going to be amateur. And eventually you can move in to intermediate, then professional, then nightmare, and then you can start doing your own custom stuff. But for right now, we're just worried about amateur. You just bought the game. You just loaded up. What do these things do? The dots projector is going to show you exactly, it's going to show you a little silhouette of a ghost moving across. When you see the dots projector, you will know it. EMF is you're only interested in EMF for the most part if it hits EMF 5 and stays in EMF 5 for a while. Flashlight is just to help you see. Some places are dark, some places the lighting is not that great. This is a horror game, so so you can use the flashlight to help you see and stuff. The ghost writing book, again, not every ghost will write in it. Some ghosts will write in the book, and remember, it has a radius. So as you get more levels, you can actually bring more than one. You can bring 2 of these. So you can actually lay them out, and you can check the little radius around it. Spirit box, again, you saw the just had a ghost that talked through the spirit box. It will respond to you. Thermometer, we've seen 2 ghosts now, the Revenant and the Onryo, that it got below freezing. Not every ghost is going to show you that. Some ghosts will get really close, but it won't quite get below it. And it has to be below 32 or 0. The ultraviolet light, unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to really show you what a fingerprint looks like. And then your video camera. The video camera is going to help you see a couple things. It's going to help you see the ghost orb. You can only see ghost orb when you have night vision on the camera. And you can place it inside the house and then combine it with the dots projector, and then you can go out and wait. It's safer to wait. The ghost cannot hurt you when you're outside. So sometimes some people prefer to do that. Some people prefer to go outside, stare through the video camera. I still kind of like to do that myself. But there you go. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to have some more informational videos down the road, but this should help you get started on just what the ghosts do. What the ghosts do inside the house. Obviously, there's a lot more to this game, but I hope you enjoyed it. I appreciate your time, and I'll see you on the next one. Later.